I'm going to talk about Seth Meyers and why he's fake news. So I used to like to watch Seth because he did comedy. And then a few years ago, I guess when Trump was campaigning, he just went propaganda. And essentially his show is just liberal propaganda. And he says ridiculous things that are just factually incorrect. And I'm going to get into two of the major ones that really he really should have been called out on these things. Of course, everything he says is crazy. But one of the ones was this issue about Trump talking about firefighters in Finland raking leaves. So look at what it says here. This is Seth Meyers. He's this gentleman here. And we got Trump here. It says a closer look. And it says Trump's weird lie about raking in Finland. And I watched this video. This might be the actual video. So... And it says over here, Finland makes fun of Trump's fire prevention strategy. Finland baffled by Trump's raking comments. In this video, it says where Trump was talking about the raking leaves. So the accusation is that Trump and the president of Finland had a conversation. And the president of Finland said, we never spoke about raking leaves in regards to forest fires, but they did talk about forest fires and about how Finland has a lot of forests. And then Seth said, he's lying about this. So there's two big problems here. Number one, he presumes that the president of Finland is telling the truth. And number two, he doesn't realize that Trump never said that the president of Finland said that they rake leaves to prevent fires. And then you continue to watch this video, and what happens is they show Trump talking about raking leaves. And what happens is Trump says, I was watching TV, and they showed firefighters raking leaves. But that's not what Seth was accusing him. Seth said that the president of Finland told him about raking leaves. It's fake news. It was a false accusation. And over here it says Finland baffled by Trump's raking comments to prevent forest fires. It was on their television. It was Finnish TV, Finnish firefighters raking leaves. And I believe the fire was in progress. So you could see that the forest was on fire and they were raking out all the leaves so that they wouldn't catch fire. So he got mocked for this big time. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's propaganda. It's complete BS. So another example was he has this writer. Let's see if we can get the writer. She was a black woman. This is probably her, Amber. That sounds like the name. This is her, this first picture right here. Okay, so what they do is they do something where they have her on to tell racist jokes that Seth can't say because Seth is a white person. He can't tell a joke about a black person. How liberal. And what she did was she was talking about something in Scandinavia, a tradition that they had, where they would put black soot on their face, which was because of, I think it was Santa Claus coming down the chimney. When you are a chimney sweep, you're going to get black soot on your face. And she said, this is racism. This is blackface. No, it's not. You're completely wrong, Amber, and you're wrong about so many other things. But this is another thing where I was like, how could you, are you mentally ill? How could you say something like this and actually believe it? And I've heard of other cases. I'm going to give you an example. In South America, there's something called the Black and White Festival. And it's in Cali, Colombia. And what they do is they paint themselves either black or white. So the white people paint themselves black and the black people paint themselves white. And it's supposed to be for solidarity, in the name of peace. And I have been to this festival before, and what they do is they'll carry around like a bag of flour. Maybe you can see it here. Well, okay, so this is in India, but it's the same thing. They have a bag of flour, and they'll just throw it at people. So when you were in Cali, Colombia during this festival, they will throw bags at you, and they'll throw flour at you and things like that. And it's a fun festival. And I mentioned this to someone, and they said, oh, that's racist. It's not racist. You know, they're imposing their cultural beliefs on another culture, and it's just absolute madness. So Seth has become basically a propaganda show. All of his shows are just liberal propaganda. It's just one crazy thing after another. Another one was President Trump said, "Why did we have to have the Civil War?" And then Seth says, "Why? You don't know why we had the Civil War?" And he's going on and on like that. And it's like, no, he knows why we had the Civil War. What he was saying is, why did it have to happen? So the other thing that Seth does is he takes trigger words like chaos and fear, and he every episode it's Trump is in chaos and the Trump administration is in chaos, and they use fear to manipulate people. But that's exactly what liberals and what Seth had been doing for years. Before Trump existed, during the Obama administration, they were spreading fear about everything. A classic example is they're going to take your reproductive rights away. That is spreading fear. So Seth Meyers, you're fake news. You burnt.